Good evening, guys. This is the United Matters channel. Rock and David is always your host on this channel, and maybe one day, one time, you'll see more people coming in through to really be on this channel because you're planning to bring in fan cams either for you that you're going to be capturing in from the field outside there. But all in all, it really runs in your know that this is the channel that does 100% Manchester United. I've later today I was supposed to go on and really have certain things to really bring up early in the morning, but I had some issues with my bank, and obviously, money is everything to go on with, and we are really working hard to improve on our studio. I want to really set up a new studio, and I'm really working upon that, and I really call upon God to really give me the strength and really money to go on and really make on a new studio and really improve on our broadcasting, and obviously be legit all up to that level that everyone is going to go on and say, oh ish, the channel is really improving, because every year I want us to see ourselves really going to the next level and obviously broadcasting in a different way altogether. So today I had this story late in the night about Ralf Rangnick coming out and really talking lots of things, exposing the board and how it failed him at Manchester United. And I said, I think I should go on and really tag it out with a story that Ten Hag really came out and really said about yesterday as far as the transfer plan is in the January winter in there for you. So as things stand, Ralf Rangnick has come out and really said or revealed how the board of United failed him, and obviously it was like a warning to the Glazers that, look, it was a warning to Erik Ten Hag to go on and really take care, all keen eye to the Glazers, because they are really a side of a club. Sorry, they are really the owners of the club who really don't fancy signing in players in January, and he was really telling him that, oh, you should really watch out. So guys, smash the like button, comment and share. We are going directly to this story. These two really came in yesterday. That of Erik Ten Hag coming in first from the press conference that he held at Carrington, and obviously that of Ralf Rangnick coming in through later after this presser was really held at Manchester United. So let's get into what Ralf Rangnick went ahead to say about the Glazers and exposed them, as he was talking to a man who goes by the name of Christian Falk, head of football in Germany, and obviously at Sports Build, you know him very well. He has been really so much audible on the issues concerning players coming in from Germany. Like he told us that Nkunku has agreed a deal with a team which goes by the names of Chelsea, and obviously they want to conduct a medical and obviously sign him even before the summer transfer window. So he's very much close to the German sources. Remember, he's one of the people that we are the front line of really letting us know that Sancho is really coming to Manchester United in 2021, not 2020, as we were all waiting for that deal to mature and materialize. So Ralf Rangnick said that he tried for Manchester United to sign Morata, Vlahovic, Christopher Nkunku, Josko Gravidol, Luis Diaz, and Erling Haaland, but United refused to make any winter transfers. This is one of the things that has gone ahead to expose the Glazers more and more, that they are so much inclined on making dividends, and it really takes you back to how much this club has fallen off from a level of winning trophies and obviously going to a level of winning dividends for the Glazers, and obviously going in to be a very huge football brand, not a football club. And that's how it's run. That was confirmed by Louis van Gaal, that this club is run as a football brand. But it shows you that we are really being run by naive people, because the more you win in the game of football, the more fans you get. And what does it mean when you get more fans? More fans mean more shirt sales. You get more gigantic deals coming in from the sponsors. If at all, Adidas is giving us £75 million per year for the kit as our kit sponsors, meaning that has been happening when we are not perennial winners. But if at all we can go ahead and really go back to the perennial winners we were way back under Sir Alex Ferguson. So that means we can even request for a double of that, because we are really going back to the levels of really winning, meaning that the Glazers are losing out close to £50 million more from United not winning. And when you look at these deals, because last season would have been the Champions League if at all, they would have given this man two signings. But after him falling out with the board said, no, we are not going to go ahead and really bring in these signings, because you are not going to be part of the team that's going to decide who the next manager of Manchester United is going to be. And secondly, you are not going to be part of a system. I think Rangnick fell apart with the board in January because he disagreed on a lot of things with the board, and obviously he went ahead to really expose them each and every time he really held a presser. So secondly, winning trophies gets you a lot of money. You know that very well. You win the Premier League like Manchester United, you'll have like £500 million of cash injected to you as the winning prize. Win the Champions League as Manchester United, you'll have close to £150 million into your pocket. Meaning that you win a double, a Champions League and a Premier League, United will average close to £800 million in a season. Meaning that that will be a lot of money, and the Glazers will walk away with a big jump of dividends. And I don't know how they're really looking at this, but I believe Rangnick was really one of those people that came in through and really showed the club that this is not a right club, by going out in the camera and telling them that United needs an open heart surgery, meaning that we need close to 7, 8, 9 or 10 players. And that is evident that when Ten Hag came in through, he brought in 5. And he wanted more, because the list of players that Ten Hag wanted in Manchester United were as follows: Darwin Núñez, Frankie de Jong, Dumfries, Eriksson, Tyrell Malacia. He wanted Anthony. He wanted Cody Gakpo. He wanted 7 players. And Martinez, 8 players. He wanted 8 players at the club, meaning that he had already sensed that these players at Manchester United wouldn't really lift themselves to the levels that he really wants on, meaning that signing in or putting in a request of 8 players and he got 5 out of 8 shows you that he was in alignment, all in agreement with what Rangnick told United, that we need an open heart surgery. And this open heart surgery is really going to happen for the very first time in the era of Manchester United, ever since a man who goes by the names of Ferguson left. Because I never saw Jose Mourinho bring in very many players as Rangnick is bringing, as Ten Hag is bringing in. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never did that, because his first signing brought in 3 players. Even the next season is brought in 3 players. I think that of the summer he brought in, I think that's when he brought in like 5 players, but most of them were young players, because Pelestri, Amad Diallo, I don't count them because those are not first team players. Those are players that were signed for the future. But I remember he brought in Danny Van Beek, he brought in Alex Telles, and he brought in Alex Telles, Danny Van Beek, and Cavani. You get Cavani came in on a free, and the other ones came in for money. So it shows you that they've been averaging 3 players per season. That is Manchester United. Even with Jose Mourinho, he brought in Zlatan, Paul Ebile Pogba, and who else? Mkhitaryan. I think his first season signed like 3 players, and the average has been 3 players. But this time round, for the very first time, we've seen a manager coming at Manchester United and really bringing in 5 players, and he wanted more. He wanted more, and in January, he might go in and really go on and bring in more, as I'm going to show you in the next tweet I'm bringing in for you, that I quoted from one of his press conferences he did yesterday ahead of that game against Sheriff. So it shows you that Ralf Rangnick was right, and he was failed by the board for not getting him the players he wanted in January, and he called for money and he couldn't even get that money, because there are players, there are others that they've not included into this that were up for grabs at like 3 million euros. For example, Boba Kamara was offered to Manchester United at 5 million euros, and United said, no, we're not buying him. Then Zakaria was offered to Manchester United and was not really bought, yet he was at 3 million euros. You get? Someone come in and say Zakaria failed at Juventus and failed at Chelsea now. It would have been a flop, but it depends which manager really wanted you. You get? So, I believe Zakaria would have played a very big role in our season, especially in the Champions League. And this is where you ask yourself, where do the Glazers sleep with their heads? Because it looks like they're really having a lot of naivety as far as the game of football is concerned. I think the Glazers never knew that if at all you bring in 2 players in the January transfer window, you go past Atletico Madrid on the round of 16 and then you go to the quarterfinal. And obviously, Champions League is tricky. United having 2 players with Ronaldo reading the line, Mr. Champions League, obviously you know that something would have cooked out and maybe United would have reached the finales, or what we call the Champions League semi-finals in there for you. And the more you go up or further in the Champions League stages, the more money you make. So I don't know how the Glazers think about this game of football, but obviously they are just naive about football. But Rangnick has gone ahead and slated them, and he has sent a warning to Erik Ten Hag that you might be wanting players in January, but be so much worried that they might go ahead and redo the same thing to me by not bringing you the same players, because they've told us that we might not even have a budget to spend in January. That's it. So looks like Erik Ten Hag needs to go on and do the needful and see how he brings in a player at Manchester United. Maybe signs a player and then he assures them that I'm going to go on and really pay you money in the summer, and maybe he sells one of the players he's having to get in a striker that he needs and a right back that he needs at Manchester United. So Erik Ten Hag really came out and said the following as far as the press house is concerned. When he was asked about the January transfer plan, he said, in this moment, we focus on the games. In the background, we also continue and we are working on the squad. You always examine how you can improve. This is what we will do. So he's talking about us improving in the summer, in the winter transfer window, that is the January, from 1st January to 31st January. But he says all that after Rangnick comes in through and retells him, please, I wanted very many players, but they never really gave me those players because I thought that the players available at the club wouldn't take me there. And obviously, he's really sending him a warning, and Ten Hag needs to go ahead and really know this, because very many games we've lost because of Anton Martial being I believe Ronaldo is good, but I believe right now, as a team, Ronaldo is less useful to Manchester United. Ronaldo fans all over the world won't go on and really agree with me, but obviously that's the case, and you have to take this one because it's a bitter pill to swallow, but you have to swallow it. Anton Martial on the field of play, the front 3 is always very much active. When Ronaldo is in the field of play, United plays badly, and that's what starts show. I saw Gary Neville complaining with Roy Keane after that game of Chelsea that Ronaldo is really important, is less important to the club than he was last season, because the team plays better without him under Erik Ten Hag. And obviously, most of the games we've won, Ronaldo has not started any of those. In the Premier League, I don't remember a game we've won when Ronaldo has started. Do you remember any of those? Leicester, he never started. Southampton, he never started. Arsenal, he never started. Liverpool, he never started. Everton, he never started. Spurs, he never started. You get? Those are all 6 games. You get? The game of Newcastle, he started, we drew. The game of Brentford, he started, we are beaten badly. You get? So it looks like even in the UEFA Europa League, we've been winning those games, but not with a magnitude of goals. You're supposed to be really winning, because Ronaldo no longer even scores sitters. Because I've always told people that most of the goals Ronaldo scored in his career have been half chances. But sitters that he's so much used to scoring, he doesn't really put them in the back of the net. And obviously that's why he was booed by his supporters at the Portuguese game against Spain, because he got 3 sitters in that game and he never scored. In the previous game that they beat, was it Czech Republic, by 4-0, he got like 4, were they 2 sitters? Bruno fed him through twice and he couldn't really put the ball at the back of the net. The game of Omonia, same thing. Even the recent games we've been playing at Manchester United, he has not been really putting them at the back of the net. So it shows you that Erik Ten Hag will need a striker in January, and obviously, who is that striker going to be? That is the big question that we are here waiting for to know, as we really wait to see what Ten Hag is really going to be doing into this transfer window. But he's telling us that they are really having a plan, and that plan is simple. They are really working on the squad, and I think they are already sending scouts everywhere. We've seen stories that we've sent scouts to watch a Brazilian play. that young Brazilian rated to be the new Neymar. Then Diego Costa, the goalkeeper of a team which goes by the name of FC Porto. I think United is interested in 2 FC Porto players. Scouts have been saying Frimpong in Germany. He has also been scouted by United, and very many other players. Cody Gakpo, for him, he's one of those players that Ten Hag believes he wants to bring in at Manchester United. So it shows you that for our transfer window, especially January, to be on and getting us to the levels of competing for the Premier League and going in to compete for the Champions League places and obviously win the UEFA Europa League plus the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, because all this is possible, Ten Hag needs to have like 2 or 3 signings in his team in January. But guess what? Will they go ahead and really get him what he wants? That's the big question that is really lingering in very many ears, and in very many ears of very many United fans all over the world. And with this tweet of Ralf Rangnick coming out that he tried to sign players into the January transfer window and everything really failed apart, the board really said no, is something that is so much scary, because we've seen already the signals being sent by the football director and the CEO of United that maybe we are not going to be able to conduct business in January. Maybe they might be putting it out to go on and really surprise us in January, because the first story that really came out was that United is willing to offer £70 million to Erik Ten Hag to go on and really boost or bluster his squad in January. And when you look at £70 million given to Erik Ten Hag, he can bring in like 3 or 4 players. You see, if at all he can bring in players at the level of Malacia, because Malacia has really gone ahead to really hit the ground running at Manchester United, meaning that you get in Cody Gakpo at like £30 million, then you can go in and really bring in 3 more players at like £15 million, because they're there, that are really great. And obviously the scouting system of Erik Ten Hag is really broad, and he scouts on every continent, call it Africa, South America, Asia, Europe, North America, everywhere. He can really go ahead and really bring you these players from that side. So it looks like United, our future on signing players is so much reliant onto the Glazers getting us money. And it's going to be very shameful, because Arsenal is going to be given £50 million from its owners, and our owners are not helping us in this out, because this season, when you look at Ten Hag and how he's really managing to bring his team back in shape, we are really trying to go on and redo the need for this game of football. And obviously lots of things are happening in the right direction for Erik Ten Hag, meaning that if at all he really gets in Cody Gakpo, he gets in Frimpong, he gets in maybe another centre forward, another centre back, because we really look lame in the central defense department area. You get? I believe one time you'll see Tengi Mendy brought on to play alongside Lisandro Martinez, because it looks like Harry Maguire, ever since he started picking up injuries last season, he has become an injury-prone player. Because this season he has been injured, I think twice or thrice. In the preseason he was injured. Then he got injured in the game of England, that is twice. This is something that Harry Maguire never really had when he signed for Manchester United, because the first 2 seasons of Harry Maguire at Manchester United, he almost played every game. 2019-2020, he played 38 Premier League games for United and all the UEFA Europa League games. Then 2020-2021, he played all those games. And in 2020, by the end of the season of 2020-2021, that's when he got an injury in the game of Fulham, and then he never even played in the finale of the UEFA Europa League. Those were the Euros. After the Euros, he has been really getting injuries. Remember, even the game of Leicester City, when he was coming from injury, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusted him to start, he got an injury, meaning that we might be needing another centre back to come in and do the needful. But to me, I pray to either Tuanzebe comes in back, because I believe there is a central defender in Tuanzebe that Erik Ten Hag might love, because he's good on the ball, and obviously he's also good going forward, and he is really a player that is fast and swift, better than Harry Maguire and Lindelof. I believe Tuanzebe is better than Harry Maguire and Lindelof, but what is costing him are the injuries. So guys, I don't know what you think about this story, how the Glazers fed Rangnick, and Ralf Rangnick has gone ahead to issue a warning to Erik Ten Hag on how the Glazers behave when it comes to the January transfer signings. They might tell you that there is no money, and obviously the signals have been already showing us that this is what they are all about. Your reactions to these stories are welcome in the comment section below. Rock and David is my name. Remember, today is the match day. United is talking on a team which goes by the names of Shelf at Old Trafford. The game is happening at 22 hours. We are going to come in with the confirmed team news, and obviously be rest assured that this channel will always be bringing you news concerning Manchester United. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord, and may Him bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. Subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, comment and share.